Hi, this is Military Paul with a final reveal video. Now you're seeing it without the tracks. The reason I'm calling this a final reveal because it actually will be complete at the end of the next segment. So there'll be two segments to this bit I'm showing you now. I've actually done a lot of weather in it, and to me it looks grimy when I look at it real. On the screen you can see bits and pieces around where these bits are, where there's dust, and there is a lot of streaks on it as well, and you might be able to just make out some of them. It's a shame you can't see much more. Come around slightly. See, I think I've done. Yeah, I can see I've done the white inside. I haven't glued these, and I've got two things left to do really. Paint the periscopes with a clear coat to give them a shiny look, so it's okay. Using the night shift method, I think he does a light grey on it and then goes in with a little bit of lighter grey at the bottom to sort of look at a reflection. Then a bit of gloss over the top of that, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Put the machine gun on the back, no ammunition, no shell cases. I was going to do that, but I think this vehicle got the machine gun on it, and it basically come out of, and then the crew had to abandon it because it broke down. Something like that, that's what I'm going to say. But anyway, but I won't be doing any more red oxides because basically where you look, you can see a bit more of the weathering now, and it's there. It is actually subtle, but I can see it quite clearly in the view I've got, and so that's not too bad for me. But anyway, but I won't do another completely red vehicle again, because I think it's an awkward colour to do when you think about it, because of the fact it's just different colours of primer and faded, and I've done dust of looks over it, so it is dusty, which it would have been, and it wouldn't have been used much. There's been a light rust on the tracks. You can see a little orangey light rust where it's just starting to get a thin coat of rust on the tracks. And I've also done the tracks as well. They've just finished them, they're drying off now. I use an air dryer just to speed them up, so I'm going to leave that till later tonight to put them on. I've left the rear idler wheel off, loose. All the rest are glued in place. I left the rear idler in place because the fact is it'll be easier to actually get over the sprocket, then put the idler wheel into the tracks and then slide it into position and glue. I've been using the Revel contactor for the wheels because I can put a lot of glue in and it will mould over time, and of course it's well and truly hard now. I repainted the shovels. I might not have said that last time. I think I might have mentioned it in a one I was deleted. But I've reshaped painted shovels. I used this set, and the colours I used is SC25, and then I've done a light overcoat of SC27, which is a very thin watered down coat, just to give it a little colour on it. Looks like new wood basically, because it would have been on there anyway, so that's done. Yep, come round. If I go that way, I think I can go round to the back. I think there's enough room for the barrel. You come round, yeah, there is. And if I put it this way, it'll be more in the centre. In fact, it's not even in the centre on this dish, is it? So if I put it that way and put it that way, it's more in the centre of the actual turntable. Yeah, there's bits of flick on here, but don't worry about it. I'll scrub that off again. So yeah, so you can see what I mean when the engine deck's really grimy around a bit. They walking around. The crew have actually got on there and walked around, and the fitters basically before it left the actual factory to go out and do its last little battle. I was going to put a little shell case on the back, and I have got one. And where is it? I might put it back. Empty shell case. Gotta find the little devil. It's in there. It's just going to come out now. There we go. I was tempted to put this on the back, laying basically where it's thrown out like this. And I think it would look nice, but it's got to be toned down a bit with a bit of matte varnish, I think. But yeah, it might go on there. It's quite a good idea. It's if it's fired by the shell, broke down, and that's it, and the crew ran off and left it after destroying the insides. And that's what's a good idea, I think. Got the light on at the back. You can't see, or you can just about see it just underneath there. I've got to put the blue bit that goes along it. I've put that in. I was going to put it as a yellow, like I have with like I have with what did I do with it? Oh no, I didn't do. Oh yeah, but look, the same colour as the actual machine gun melt. But I changed my mind, and I painted it in by hand with a primer, and I'm going to go in there with a clear blue onto it just to make it look like the night travel light, so that's okay. Whether they would have bothered with that, I don't know, but most probably someone would have slapped it on. So yeah, so I'm quite pleased so far. Oops, let's get that out. That's why I moved it over a bit more. Quite pleased so far. I'm going to leave it like that. The hatches are been done. I've got like I said, I've got how many periscopes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to do, including the front ones. And I'm going to put a bit of grease. So when you see it again, there'll be a bit of grease on the actual front where the actual barrel travel lock is. A little bit in the area, and I've also put a bit of oil around the fuel caps fillers. And I'll take a photograph of that mostly. Perhaps that'll come a little bit better anyway. But looking at it now on the screen now, what you can see there is what I can see everywhere, even at the back and on the sides, like a dusted effect as if it's been left out there. So it's quite good in that way. So right, there we go. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to come back then with the tracks on and everything done. And for me, it must really be till Sunday, but for you, it will be seconds. See you in a minute. Hi, Miniature Rider Paul with a final segment of this final reveal video. I've done the periscope. In fact, the actual periscope I did on the first tape before the wife decided we'd got to go to pick the grandson up. I've actually done it now, and it seems to be going slowly see-through. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it is. It's going to be clear. That'll be clear in no time. I've done the periscopes, like I said I would have done, and the groove, the actual top is actually glued on permanently now with the old Revel contactor, because I quite like that because you can go around, do dots of it, and it's really good. I've done the periscopes and with a dark grey, then a very light white grey around the side using Vallejo paints, and then gone over with gloss varnish. So they've all got that gloss varnish, so when your light hits those, they should give it a little sheen. I prefer the clear varnish, clear periscopes, but as you most probably know if you watch me regularly, I do prefer those, but it don't work out too badly with these anyway, so that's okay. So anyway, you can see I've got a shell next to the actual the vehicle. That is the size of it. That's how large these shells are. They come in two parts, the projectiles do, and so there you go. That big white bit at the top's not glued in; it's just pushed in. And I might lay the whole thing or the shell case on the back. I'm not really sure at the moment, so I have to decide that later. But I just thought I'd put that there to give you some impression of the actual size it is. It's quite a big bit of piece of kit, as it were. So anyway, coming round, if I'm going to go around, you can see I've actually put the tracks on. Worked out really fine. Using those jigs that they provide, Takom provide for the actual wheels, was really good because basically I got the track lengths exactly right, and it did work out as I expected it to do. So there you go. I think you can see the subtle weather in there. I've got to be honest, you can see it better in natural light, but this is natural light. I haven't got no lights on in this room, and I'm using the window. I'll actually put a bit more light here now. There we go. I've got a bit more. You can see a bit more weathering on there with it streaks, but it actually looks the colour's more definite for this the weathering. When you look at it naturally, but I'm not too worried about that. Coming round, and the first thing I've noticed is you can see it, is the fact that light, that's the thing I forgot to put the clear blue on that light with a bit of silver. And there, I think it's a convoy light, so that it doesn't shine too brightly at night time. I've got the machine gun on the back, as you can see. I used the dark grey Vallejo paint on that, and then done a wash of the what was it called? A wash of clear blue from this set. Where was it? Oh, wrong one. From this set. So it's a figure set. But I used the blue at the end, and it gave a blue. And it does, when you look at it naturally, actually it's got a slight blue tint on it, which is not too bad for it. So I did use that. So I've got that one there. Whoops, put that back in the drawer. So that's that, going around, and you can see I've got the door open, as I said I would, because it does look quite nice like that. You can see a bit of weathering on the actual the decking. It's there, all the way around. And you might just be able to see a little bit of glint on the periscopes. it's enough to make it look as if it is clear. I know that's a sort of method that night shift use, so that's the reason I used it, and it does work if you've got plastic periscopes. But I think it's better if you can actually put them in afterwards. But because the actual hole is one piece, I just put them in and then painted them afterwards. Careful bit of fine brush as well, and there you can see they're all got there. And that one there, if I look myself, yeah, it's still it needs a bit more in it to give a bit of glint. I might put a bit more crystal clear in it, but I'm quite happy because it is a periscope. But I prefer the glass ones because you can actually paint it silver, do the base colour, and then the actual silver shows through the glass, so you can actually see a bit of reflection there as well. But quite happy with that way it comes out. So yeah, so not bad. But there you go. So that's my Jagdtiger. Now I'm going to take some photographs because I think the photographs might be better, and see if I can put them on the back end of this. Not with the camcorder. I'm going to use my camera. I'm going to bring that in a minute and do that. So there you go. As I said, when you look at it for real, it looks a lot more. Well, it just looks that much better. I think I could say about. So if it was 100%. I'd say it looks much better in like by at least 50% better than you see it on screen. But I'm going to look at the screen anyway when we get and do the editing. I don't like doing a lot of too much editing to it in colour, but sometimes it needs a little touch of exposure. Normally is about the best bit I go for. The roof, you can see there's lots of red that's normal, and that's because people are moving around and they're knocking the dust off and everything. So obviously that's what would happen, and anywhere like that. And down the sides here, around there, a little stain I had there, and I left it there in the end because I thought myself it doesn't look too bad. And as you can see another angle now, and you can see the actual stains there, and it could be a natural stain. And I thought myself at the end of the day I could have resprayed over it and then made it look all in line with the rest of it, but I didn't bother. Yep. So. There you go. So if I put it there, I don't know, leave it that way. I think I mentioned about the shovels as well in the previous bit, but yeah. So there she goes. That's me done for that. But if I do go back to later on, it will be to just do a little bit more weathering touch-ups, but not to. And definitely before I put it away, I've got to do that blue rear travel light, as I call it. So that's what I've got to do in a minute. But the shell case, as I'll just show you now, that will be the actual shell, and there's the case. So you could actually, and you can see that's lovely and hollow. And if you tone it down a bit of matte, I think it would look a bit better, because I suppose the shine would be there. Anyway, but that's what I might put on the back. There you go. I'm really looking forward to doing this vehicle, but in the normal camouflage, but not the late version. I've got a dragon one to do, so I should do that. And hopefully, I think there's a bit more of a gun breech in that one as well, so be interesting to see. But yeah, I do like the Jagdtiger. I've stood next to the one at Bovington Tank Museum, the Porsche version, quite a few times, and really impressed with the size of the vehicle. And if it had come earlier, perhaps it would have caused more problems. We don't know, but it definitely does. One of them did actually hold a lot of armour up on one of the bridges. I think it was on the other side of a bridge, and they basically couldn't get across, and until it was destroyed. Eventually, I think the crew destroyed it before they left, but they caused a lot of damage while I was there, because everything was bouncing off the front of the glacis plate. Righto then, so I'm going to call that quits. Thank you for watching. I'm just going to go back then once I've done that blue light, and I'm going to take a few photographs if I can, and then put them on the end of this so you can see a little bit better in that way. So thank you very much for watching, and look out for the photographs that are going to follow. They're not going to be too many, but they'll just be enough. Thank you very much. Catch you later. Happy modelling.